Good evening. How is everybody? It is good to see you. It is good to be seen by you. I hope you're all having an absolutely wonderful evening, because I know I am. I am Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver. It's really wonderful to have everybody here tonight. Now, I know normally Thursday nights are, when we come together and we have a guest, but as it happened last night, did a little switcheroo on you. That's right. I caught you when you weren't paying attention. And we had the one and only Alan Hammock on the show last night, and gosh, that was a lot of fun. I love having Alan on the show as a guest. He's always got the coolest stories of TSR history and college football talk. We managed to squeeze a little bit of that in there, but it was a lot of fun. Hello, Heidi. I'm tired. If I'm being 100% honest with you, Heidi, I am tired. I know I sound good, but yeah, the energy levels aren't quite up there. And Alan and I were talking about that last night. Like, I have stuff that's hanging out that's overdue to many editors, and you don't think, well, I can just sit and write. I mean, there's nothing to that. No, there's energy going on there. But in the overall, no fevers, no aches and pains, just kind of tired. Thank you for asking. How are you and Eric, by the way, and the girls? I hope you're all doing absolutely wonderful. I hope everybody is doing absolutely wonderful. Yes, ma'am. Lots of breaks. Don't worry. And by the way, speaking of Heidi and Eric Gygax, coming up probably next week, we're going to be doing a review of Under the Waterfowl, which is the addendum, the add-on, the other half of Till Death Do Us Part. So reviews coming up for that. That is next week. Got a lot of stuff on tap now this weekend. Such as I can, I'm going to get things set up once and for all and open up the sign-up sheets for the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. That's right. From the very safety and comfort of your own homes, you will be able to sit back and enjoy a RPG convention at your leisure. I'll have all of the information done this weekend. That is the plan. So I hope you'll all be there. We'll have merch. I'm going to talk to Dungeon Minister if I can catch him between now and when things really start to get busy for him on Fridays and Saturdays, to get us some more awesome merch. I will work a deal with him. So lots of stuff is coming up. Probably next weekend, we're going to have an impromptu live stream with the one and only Ty Beard. That's right, because Ty is going to be in my neck of the woods, but I want to keep that on the QT. All right. I'll let you guys know what's happening as soon as I know what's happening with a get together with Ty, because Ty is a lot of fun. Let me tell you what, he is a cool dude. So anyway, this is the beast. It's, my wife has the other half of the shirt that says his beauty, and this one says her beast. They're a matched pair, and I like them quite a bit. Am I going to try and Road March getting the virus has killed the whole I'm going to do it. You know what? Next year, if I don't wind up getting the coof, next year I will do a 24-hour live stream, but it's not going to be at the convention. I'm sorry. That would probably not be very good for me. I'm slowly getting back on the men's Squirrel Hermit. But we do have plenty of fun stuff, fun happenings to look forward to. More stuff from Heidi and Eric to review, more guests, more live streamed games, guys. We have Tuesday and Friday first edition AD&D and Gamma World streams that we play for you guys, and for the players too. Thank you, Pepe. I feel a lot better. like I said, tired, like the fevers are gone, the aches and pains. It's just being tired right now. This May, we have got a mess of great guests coming up this May. I don't know exact dates yet, except the 18th. The 18th at 8 o'clock Eastern. Set your clocks. Errol Otis will be joining us on stream, which I have just been, I'm so excited about that. So Errol's going to be here, and he's going to, I'm sure, have some great stories of TSR to share, and plus things that he's got going on right now. We're going to talk to him about art, gaming, creating, all that cool stuff. That's happening on the 18th. More ephemerally in May, of course, I'm hoping that on separate streams now, mind you, that the artist Darlene and Dave LaForce will be joining us. I hope. I got my fingers crossed that they'll be joining us. So we've got a lot of fun stuff planned up for this spring and into summer. And I hope you guys will want to join us for all of that. 12 hours and then have the dungeon minister do 12 hours. That would be entirely up to him, but that's not gonna, 12 hours is a haul, let me tell you what. So now I don't have exact dates for Darlene and Dave yet, but Errol, put that on your calendar. So you don't want to miss that. And I'm hoping maybe Heidi and Eric, you guys are still out there and y'all want to come on the show too. Maybe do that in June. I got let's see. We're gonna have Paul Stormberg on. We're now, if you guys stay through to the end of the show, which you absolutely positively should. Of course, we have that great closing credit song, Owl Bear, while the composer, musician, and singer of that song, Mr. Bob Antone, is going to be on the show. And Bob's a lot of fun, man. We're going to talk ghost stories and great American cryptids and tabletop gaming and a lot of cool stuff. So we're going to have Bob Antone on. We're going to have Jeremy Rule. Now, if you guys don't know Jeremy, he's been on the show once before. That is May 18th for Errol Road March. May 18th. But Jeremy is, first of all, he's a musician friend of Bob Antone's. They're in a musical group together called Tinkham Road. But Jeremy is a brilliant programmer and organizer. And we're going to crack this whole AI Dungeon Master, AI Advanced Dungeons, AI and Advanced Dungeons and Dragons thing. We're going to approach it like, here's a set of tools and what can we do with it? So having Jeremy on to talk about that is going to be a lot of fun. So we have, going into the summer, guys, Virtual Con, 6 or 7 incredible guests, plus the usual awesome content, right? 3 live streams of tabletop gaming a night, and then deep dives and all kinds of stuff. So I hope you guys are looking forward to it. Let's see. Oh, Heidi and Eric, talk about the next Kickstarter this summer. Woohoo! There you got it. We're going to hold you to it, Heidi. We're going to hold you and Eric to it both. So Heidi and Eric, yeah. Should I say Heidi and Eric Garland Gygax? Heidi and Eric Gygax. How would you prefer me say that? So right there, you guys, it's lots of cool stuff is going to happen, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited about it, and you should be too. So all that's happening. And speaking of cool stuff, speaking of cool stuff, guys, tonight's live stream is brought to you by our friends at Hellebarde Games. Hellebarde makes the kind of modules that they'd like to play, whether it's for Castles and Crusades, 5th edition, or the OSR. Old school is in play at the table with Hellebarde Games. And right now, they have a sale going on of all their in-print 5th edition products. That's right. They're clearing it out. 50% off. That's buy one, get one free, by the way. They have a whole swamp adventure series, Dismal Swamp full of lizard men, a caravan trail full of encounter areas and interesting NPCs. And if you use the checkout code 5EOOP at checkout for their in-print 5th edition products, you'll get 50% off. You can't afford not to. It's like you're leaving money on the ground if you don't do it. Garland, but I'm always okay. All right, just don't call you late for dinner. Excellent. Deadly Dungeon Master, greetings. And you can check out Hellebarde on their website, hellebardegames.com, or DriveThruRPG. Now, I know the sale works on Hellebarde Games website. I'm not sure if it works on DriveThruRPG. So, just if you're gonna purchase something under the sale, make sure you do it directly from their website. So, with that said, Boston Bruins fan, new subscriber here since last Thursday. Oh, thank you very much, Boston Bruins fan. Well, we're big on families here at the Delver's Dungeon. So salute to you and Mrs. Boston Bruins fan 24. I was thinking about something last night after last night's show, and this always blows me away. This always floors me. When I was 10 years old, or maybe I was 11, and I picked up my copy of Keep on the Borderlands and a set of powder blue TSR dice. These are not those are long gone. And I saw that strange name, Gary Gygax, on the cover. I knew the minute I had opened that book that was something that I wanted more of, and I wanted to experience that and enjoy that, and I have my whole life, from my adolescence all the way up to now, my second adolescence. But if you had told me when I was a youngin' back then, you're not just going to get to meet this guy. You're going to get to work with this guy, and you're going to have the honor of meeting so many of the people whose names are in this book. And indeed, I would dare say get to be friends with some of them. I wouldn't have believed you. I would have said, wow, who are you? And what is this strange prophecy of which you speak? And I consider it a pretty awesome thing that I've gotten the opportunities that I have. And some of it is luck. A lot of it is just being bullheaded and walking right up and sticking my hand out and saying, hi, I'm Bill. As if that holds any weight, right? But to get to meet the awesome folks that I've had, and I mean to be welcomed into the homes of Heidi and Eric, just for example, it's an awesome thing, and I think of all the hobbies that I could have gotten wrapped up in. This is the one that has the biggest sense of community and family, and I enjoy it so much. And so when I get things in the mail, I really want to share them with you guys. So we got a mail call here from Do Not Bend. Thank you. No, actually, the person's name is the sender's name is on this side. Now, I'm pretty sure I know who this is from. And I'm going to open it and we're going to take a look at it. If it is who I think it's from, I'm going to share their online user handle. Oh no, RPG Grandma, please. Hot tea with honey and stay warm under the blankets, okay? But I'm gonna keep his name covered up because some people are kind of hinky, and I get it. I completely understand it. I think about the fact that I've shared my address with people, and folks know who I am to walk up to me at conventions and stuff like that. And I'm like, was that the smartest thing in the world, or should I have stayed hidden? I don't know, but the cat's out of the bag now. But if this is what I think it is, I'll tell you guys who it's from by their username on the Discord, but I'm not going to reveal their actual IRL name. So let's open this. Let's you hope it's not racy lingerie for me. Well, you're just a hater then, aren't you, Luther? So let's get Mr. Stabby out here, and we'll open this up and have a look-see at it. Because it is very well sealed. And hopefully I won't slice my hand open or destroy the product doing this. So, make sure I'm not cutting into that now. It is a booklet. Mobius, greetings. All right. It is very well packaged because it is sandwiched between. It is okay. So this actually comes from Old Redneck on the Discord. He's not very active on the Discord, but he did reach out to me on Discord. And what I have here is a copy of Dark Tower from Judges Guild. That's right, Dark Tower from Judges Guild, and this is this Noble Knight? Yes, this is from Noble Knight. So he told me he was picking up a couple of copies and wanted to know if I wanted one. And I said, tell me how much it's going to set you back. And he said, it's a gift to the show. So I have Dark Tower here now, one of the original Mega Dungeons. I think that this is either a very well-kept copy or it is a reprint, like a print on demand. Okay, this is a print on demand, but that's okay. You know what? So let's take a look here. Now, I remember this from my youth, but I never actually played in Dark Tower. But thank you, Old Redneck. I really appreciate this. An ancient evil has overtaken a once holy shrine. Thus, a sleepy mountain hamlet becomes a focal point for mysterious disappearances and even stranger legends of what lurks beneath the village. Would any group of adventurous souls dare to probe the facts that lie behind the myths, or seek to right ancient wrongs, rescue secreted artifacts, or even attempt to exterminate the source of evil itself? This is no quest for the weak of spirit or strength. Beyond the cellars of Mitra's fist lie strong allies and strange enemies, undead and undying, each seeking to involve the unwary in a titanic battle of good against evil, which can only end in destruction. Riches, power, glory, and death are all in Dark Tower. So there we go, guys. We have Dark Tower. Some great looking maps here. I've only ever been like on the receiving end of this and in brief, tiny bits and pieces. So, but I remember it well. It's all kind of coming back to me. Some great maps are in here. And you guys let me know if you want a deep dive of this for the show, like if you guys would ever want to get like a full deep dive of Dark Tower, we can do it. Live on the show over the course of a few sessions. But just looking at it here, I mean, and it fits anywhere, right? You know, it's a good one. This is by Jacques. Old Grognard says, greetings. And, We have maps and charts and arts, a foreword. So thank you very much, Old Redneck, for your contribution to the show. This will be a valued addition to my campaign world. Tommy says a deep dive would be good. We can definitely do a deep dive into Dark Tower. So yeah, I'm hyped about this. I can't wait to spring this on my players. Now, as far as I know, there was kind of a parody of it called Duck Tower, which, yes, that's actually a real thing, Duck Tower. Can I do an Orson Welles voice for this other Dark Tower? No. I can do a few impressions and I can do a few funny voices, but I don't think I could do an Orson Welles voice. I could when I was like a little kid and Orson Welles was doing the wine commercials. We will sell no wine before it's time, but now I just sound like a screamo metalhead vocalist in between sets when I try and do it. But love the thumbnail photo. My mother bought me the Hireling set. You can still get that set, Mark. But I'm gonna set this down, guys. Thank you again to Old Redneck for that. That is fantastic, and I definitely think that's worth a Paul Masson. Thank you. We will sell no wine before it is time. By the way, Orson Welles. And I bet Heidi knew this, and I don't know. Maybe she met the man, but Orson Welles was actually tapped to play the villain in the Dungeons and Dragons movie, the one that Gary was working on. Villain Orson Welles, directed by John Boorman, produced by Edgar Gross for Universal. That was the plan. Am I saying no, just you might have faint memories of it from your dim, distant childhood. I gotta try and salvage that. But Heidi put me on the spot. Well, I did it to myself, really. But yes, so Orson Welles would have been, but I can't do an Orson Welles voice. I'm sorry. And there was something I was going to, there was something I was going to mention, and I don't. The Dark Tower, Duck Tower. Hell, it probably wasn't all that important, or it'll come to it'll be 11:30 tonight, and I'll be dozing off with YouTube burbling on the TV and be like, "Wait, it was whatever." So anyway, by the way, I have sent out many of the packages of Owlbear minis. If you haven't, I've invoiced everyone who expressed an interest. If you haven't responded, please do so. They're all printed up. They're all ready to go. One person ordered a set of the Warduke miniatures. So one person's getting a set of Warduke minis and a set of Owlbear minis, but everything else is single sets of Owlbears. So if you ordered one, I promise you I have invoiced you. So dig through your emails and find find your invoice for the 3D Owlbear prints. Now, I will tell you, unfortunately, that print run is over. I am not doing any more Owlbear prints. So if you missed out, maybe I'll run them again in the future, but right now they're closed. That's just for people who got those in Mobius. I am never sending you anything again. I'm kidding. but yours are yours are inbound. Rest assured. So we were talking about Duck Tower, which I have never seen. But that's going to be a good, fun module to deep dive. So many requests for deep dives on stuff. Luther, I think Luther just wants me to deep dive my entire library of modules, even ones I've already done that he's missed. He wants me to go back through. But add Dark Tower to the list. And if I ever get a copy of Duck Tower, well, maybe that. Pardon me. Now, CSIO, I don't think I would do, just because there's hundreds of thousands of words of it. It would eat up like the entire. This would just become the CSIO deep dive show. If the mail was honest, you would have gotten your grain. Bob, did you not? Wait a minute. Did you order a green devil face and not get one? Reach out to me via email, Bob. That bothers me. I hope you're just kidding, but that bothers me a lot because I painted every one of those suckers. I did a run of Great Devil Face walls from Tomb of Horrors. I found an STL for that. I sent 2 and you never got either one? What the heck? Okay. Clearly, I have some printing and painting to do because I know I sent them. Bill Cousteau, deep dive. Here in the serene section of the dungeon modules, life flourishes if you know where to look for it. I don't know why I made Jacques Cousteau sound like he was from Mumbai, but there you guys go. All right, Bob, I'll get on it. I'll get it fixed, and I'll get you some Great Green Devil Face walls because you bought and paid for them, and clearly you did not get them. So we're going to fix that, my brother. Don't worry about it. We did a deep dive on Expedition. We even had Paul Stormberg come on because Paul has the 411 on a lot of Expeditions in and outs. So, I mean, if you dig back through the archives of the show, you'll find the episodes which concluded with that. Paul's insight into Expedition, particularly the whys and wherefores of the ship itself, were really fascinating. Like, it's more than just what you think. Bob's going to show up at my house now. He's that pissed. But no, Paul did a fantastic job on the show talking to us about the architecture of the ship and the fact that really you only get like 4 of 24 decks of that starship. And there are more decks to it now. We kind of postulated and hypothesized about the whys and the wherefores of the starship. No, he's not going to shoot my porch light out. I didn't wrap the wrong leg. There's Metatron knows, hopefully gets that. But getting Paul's insight into the nature of the ship, it is worth the multiple hours of watching to go through our deep dive on Expedition to the Barrier Peaks. TXT, with the re-release of Unearthed Arcana on drive-throughs reprint, I think WotC will be modifying it to match the new talking points. I am afraid of that. TXG, I am very afraid of Wizards of the Coast breaking out the red pen. They stated, and I did a video on this, and it kind of angried up some folks at me, but I mean, what else is new? Wizards of the Coast said they were quoted in the Bounding into Comics article about how, they were looking at changing things, like going back and looking at things that they thought were problematic that might need to get changed. Past works is what they said, I believe. And I feel like you don't deface art, right? You don't go altering things, which is why I tell people, if you don't have a set of AD&D or OD&D books or modules or campaign materials and you want them, get them as soon as you can. All right. Now, the guys at Chaosium re-released Call of Cthulhu, the original COC box sets. They did a 1-inch set that is a facsimile of the Call of Cthulhu rules, which we've done an unboxing of on the show, and we used to run our live stream Call of Cthulhu game back last October, and we'll be doing another one this Halloween. I'm looking for volunteers and victims to be on that stream, by the way. I will probably top it out at 6, and I will hold a seat open for at least one person that I know would want in, so that's 5. But we did an unboxing of it, and it was perfect. There was a slip of paper inside that said, you know what? Things were kind of different back in the 1970s. Here's the original artwork presented just as it was back then. Let's play. And that's basically what they did. Wizards had better keep their sticky fingers off of OD&D and AD&D, and yes, even 2nd edition and basic and 3rd edition. There are 3rd edition D&D fans who don't want stuff scribbled over. I assumed you were in, Todd. I assumed you were in. So that's kind of that's why I tell people, get them now, because who knows what they're going to do. Now, speaking of wishful thinking, Mobius, one thing that I'm kind of, let's talk about positivity here, because, that's something, and I think it gets overlooked. I think people tend to think that I'm just like, I'm like a Razor Fist or Clownfish TV, and all I do on the shorter streams is just get on and complain. But I like to be positive, and I like to talk positivity, and set aside the negativity. So, to kind of bring it back over and to focus on one thing, kind of as an offer to you guys, was when we have the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, the GWOC. We all like GWOC, right? Luther, you like GWOC. Bob likes GWOC. Heidi, do you and Eric like GWOC? Anyway, the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. We are currently at 4482, I think, is the number of subs that the channel has. If we reach 5,000 subscriptions by the time of the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, if we reach those 5,000 subscriptions, we will have a drawing. We will have a drawing. This is not like first place, second place. This is literally just like I will draw 2 names from the hat, or I will do some kind of online e-drawing things. The first winner gets a bespoke omnibus set of the original Dungeons and Dragons rules: Monsters and Treasure, Men and Magic, The Outdoors, and Wilderness Adventure, bound into a single volume for you to enjoy original D&D at your table. You don't know Guac, but you'll check it out. Excellent. I'll get you guys the info. The other thing that I will draw is a set of the high color quality reprints of the Dungeon Master's Guide, the Monster Manual, and the Player's Handbook. So there'll be 2 winners drawn: OD&D and AD&D core sets. The OD&D will be in a single bespoke volume. I'll have to send that out to get it printed and sent to you. And the others I can probably gift to you straight from Drive-Thru RPG or Black Blade or somebody like that who sells the print-on-demand copies, so you can just get those sent straight to you. But again, we're at 4482. We are still 518 subs away on the YouTube channel. 518. So if we don't hit it by the time that the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, the GWOC, is over, then well, we'll move on and we'll do something else. But go out there. You guys are great at rallying people. So if you want to crack at those, help the channel get to 5,000 subs by at least the end of the GWOC, and we'll hold the drawing. Now, some people have asked, hey, are you going to do anything special for 5,000 subs when you reach it? You know, if it's later this summer, in the fall, first of the year, whatever. And maybe I'll crack open a small personal bottle of champagne, but I don't know that it's gonna necessarily do anything as far as, you know, woo the who. But we'll see. But one thing I did say that I'll do, and I made this as a hollow threat, because I'm going to be honest, I never thought, ever, I never thought that I would see the channel get as popular as it's gotten now. I said, well, because I said, if we get 1,000 subs, I'll have a virtual convention. And then it happened. So we had the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention 1. And then I kind of hemmed and hawed about whether or not I would do a second one, but you guys are all for the second one. So we're going to do it, and it's going to be a thing we do. It will be after, it will still be in June, but GWOC will be after North Texas, because that way I can ensure that I'll get Jeff Delaney in at the con. You see, big brain. So, you know, I said, well, so you got your virtual online convention, and we had like 30 people attended. It was pretty good. We had a panel, we had an artist alley, and we're going to do those things again. We had merch. You guys do you guys know about the merch? The GWOC merch? Dungeon Minister made these. Well, to be fair, he didn't make he made the design, and then they went on to Teespring. I'm thinking just change it to 2023. Like I don't know. And it says unbreaded on the back, because that's kind of an in joke around here. Yet this is a terribly dusty glass. It needs to go in the dishwasher. But anyway, so I made this hollow threat and said, well, you know, if the channel ever gets to 10,000 subscribers, I'll have a real in-person convention. And I made that smugly because I did the math and it took me 3 years to get to 1,000 subscribers. So I figured, you know, by the time it got to 10,000, I would be in the old folks' home with a bedpan under me and, you know, turn me to face the sun. And then Wizards of the Coast. Back in January, Wizards of the Coast started screwing things up, and all I did was start reporting on it. All I did was just say, guys, you're never going to believe what they said and did. And it caught the algorithm just right. And every day for like 2 weeks in January and a couple of weeks in February, every day Wizards of the Coast did something dumber than the day before. And I just kept reporting on it. And it got caught up in the YouTube algorithm. And we went from around 1,500 subscribers on January 15th to 3,000 subscribers by January 20th. It was insane. And it's just, it hasn't gone that vertical again, but I mean, we're at 4,482. So I perhaps made a bit of a boo-boo when I said we'll have a real in-person gaming convention when I get 10,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. Ha ha, wink, wink. That'll never happen, because it might. Now, I'm not going to go into silent running and not report on stuff to make it not happen. I'm going to keep, you know, I mean, they made their statement about half races, you know, and we jumped up like 100 subscriptions. Every time they screw up and I report on it, the channel subs jump. They have shown no sign of not screwing up. Mobius calls a couch. No, let's be 100% clear. The guac, the great overland underground gaming convention will not be held here at my house. I'll find a hall here in the Orlando area. And it also won't be free, even though the online one is 100% free, because I would need help, you know, getting it together. But speaking of subscriptions, let's stop talking about me. Let's stop talking about me for just a second. I reached out to Vile Necromancer the other night. I texted him. He has got some real life stuff going on right now. He will have some more video content. If you're not subscribed, let me tell you about this young man. Vile Necromancer, I ran into this guy at GaryCon. Vile Necromancer is a young guy. He's 16. He loves first edition AD&D. All right. He tracked me down at GaryCon because he wanted to meet me, and I had a grand old time talking to him. He makes very enthusiastic videos about AD&D. He's absolutely worth your subscription. If you're subscribed to my channel, go to his channel and subscribe. Just like you should be subscribed to Dungeon Minister, T-Shirted Historian, Old Grognard Says, RPG Grandma. Absolutely be subscribed to those guys. Please, please, please be subscribed to him. No, he's not vile at all. He's an awesome and enthusiastic young man. A report on Bud Light, I'll be at 10K in no time. Well, that was funny as Jeremy, I was telling you guys about Jeremy he was on the live stream last night. I got one super chat the whole evening that I was talking to. To Alan Hammock, and it was from Jeremy, and he said, "What do we have to do to get Dungeons and Dragons on a Bud Light can?" And I was like, "Man, you're trying to get me demonetized, aren't you?" Oh, you're quite welcome, old Grognar. And collecting chaos, yes. Yeah. If you've got a YouTube channel, say it. Mention it here if I've forgotten. Jack Photon says, I figured when you boasted the in-person, you were already savvy on renting halls or hotel basements. No, because I didn't think it was going to happen. It was a hollow threat. I didn't think you people would do this, but you've gotten us like almost halfway there. So, you know. Where do I store Bud Light in the dungeon? In the midden. It's in the latrine. Not even orcs would touch that stuff. You guys can also subscribe to Jack Photon's channel on YouTube. That gets him hostile at me. So let's see. So like I said, yes, he does. Check out Jack Photon on YouTube, jackphoton.com. Join the media revolution started by Jack Photon. YouTube, speaking of YouTube, YouTube recommended this guy to me on, I don't even remember his name. I was like, this is really cool because he talked about like starting back in the late 80s all the way up to the early 2000s of doing visual effects with like no computer, no green screen, like live special effects. He did, apparently there's a Courtney Love Hole, her band Hole. There's a video where there's like this little wholesome town that he made in miniature that gets like smashed with a sledgehammer or something. He did that. So if you know the video I'm talking about, he did that. And it was a great, like I watched it for like 20 minutes and like, he shot a science fiction movie in his 700 square foot apartment. And he had, because when you're in an apartment that small, the apartment complex tries to do things to make it seem a little bit more roomy. So his closet door was, you know, it was a sliding closet door, a 2-panel sliding closet door. It was mirrors. So he took those off and put them in like the central corridor that separated like the bedroom, bathroom from the kitchen living space. And did an infinite hallway and did stuff like those plastic paint trays you get from Home Depot. He just stuck a bunch of those side by side to make them look like futuristic computer wall panels. Just an incredible video, like futuristic guns. He just had people walking around with mic stands and tripods. He's like, they're running past the camera so fast, you just see something heavy and tactical and you know, elongate and it just works. And I was watching the video, I'm like, this is really cool. This is really, really super cool. Like he did a spaceship scene. Like his spaceship scene was him sitting on the floor of the apartment with some electronics, like black and white portable TV and, you know, audio boards and stuff like that, just kind of arranged close around him as he's sitting on the floor and kind of leaning back and forth. And then they did another one where he did a matte painting that was round. It was just a giant round piece of wood, and half of it was painted blue like the sky, and half of it was painted kind of brown like the ground, and someone was literally just just a big like 6-foot diameter circle, and there was just somebody turning it, standing behind it, turning it periodically, and the ship that was flying on his wing was somebody just holding a model, but they were just out of the shot, so you couldn't see them. But it was fascinating to watch him talk about this, and I was like, this sounds really cool. And the science fiction movie he made was for sale on his website, and it's like $19. And I'm like, you know what? That's too cool for words. That $19. What's the worst that happened? I have a Z grade drink coaster, right? And started checking it out. Yeah, I mean, he does all that stuff. But then, like, every other video that he sells on his website, it's all like this self-help kind of stuff. I felt so conned. It's like, oh, this is really cool. This old school special effects back from the 80s and the 90s. That was an awesome time. And I'm like, oh, no, dude. I'm not sending you, I'm not sending you my mailing address and my, no. It was just such a letdown, Mobius, those cows better be good. It is good. Spotted cow is very good. And I was talking to Alan about this last night. And so Heidi, if you're still there, Heidi, this was, I made such a mistake. The gentleman to my left, now I remember everybody who was there, but I don't remember who was sitting in which exact spot. Let me see if I can find it. It was Edwin to my immediate left, because it was Edwin and Jeremy, and then Pat and Melissa, I think was it. Well, Edwin's like, I don't like spotted cow. So he goes to the package store, and I jokingly said, every spotted cow he doesn't drink, just bring to me. Well, Heidi did. Okay, so it was Jeremy. All right, yeah. So, yeah, Heidi did. Every time I looked at it, I'd get to the bottom of a bottle, and then a new one would magically appear right there. And the part of that awesome hostessing she did so well. So yeah, it was Jeremy to my immediate left, and then Edwin, and then Melissa and Pat. Yeah, but I perhaps misspoke. Rather, a lot like the I get 10,000 subs and I'll have a real in-person gaming convention. I shot my mouth off. So Road March is in Atlanta. You'll be right over for a beer. And it was old Grognar. That is exactly right. It was magical appearing beer. But that was good times. So I'm hoping now let's have a look at this. Let's hop over to channel analytics real quick, because you guys care about that. I know. So we're at 4,486 subs on the YouTube channel, guys. 4,486, 14 to 4,500. And again, I don't expect to hit that 5,000 mark by the time the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention happens, but it would be nice. It would be nice. And if it does, as I said, the high quality color reprints of the 3 core AD&D books and the OD&D book, the bespoke volume printed in that, will be given away. And then if we hit 10,000, a real convention, but I wouldn't pin anything on that happening anytime soon. Just going to stop that right now. Don't want to put a hex on things. Right on. The real claim to fame is to be mentioned in a vid by Condor DM and Garbe. Okay. That's awesome. Dungeon Master James. Sounds good to me. Play button any day now. Yeah, I did that when I hit 1,000 subs. I literally just drew on a sheet of paper, a play button on a sheet of paper, and did an unveiling. They did send me an email. They did send me a congratulatory email. Congratulations on hitting 1,000 subs. So that was pretty nice. And I gotta look in on something here real quick. I gotta look in on this real quick. Let's see. Because I want to see Vile Necromancer's numbers go up. You guys. $68 subscribers. Come on, we can do better than that. Let's get him over 100 at least. 68, come on. It's only 32. There's 35 of you guys. 3 of you can take the night off. 3 of you can be subscribed already. Let's get Vile Necromancer up over 100 subs, at least in the next day or so, right? If you unsub and then reset, it doesn't work like that. Trust me, I've tried to set up a script bot to do that. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. It just makes your line bop up and down in place. It doesn't help. Did he figure out the live stream thing? Yeah, he's done live streams. Vile has done some live streams. He needs to get onto StreamYard, which, I mean, I'm not like endorsing StreamYard. They don't give me anything for free, so YouTube don't at me. But if he wants to have multiple people streaming in at the same time, then he needs to Tommy, good. Grandpa, RPG Grandma, very good. Very good. Heidi, you and Eric, please subscribe to Vile Necromancer's channel. He's got awesome AD&D content over there, and he's a very enthusiastic young man. Old Grognard, don't just check him out, subscribe. That's he gets my endorsement. I fully endorse what Vile Necromancer does, insofar as his AD&D content is concerned. GrogTube, yes, we are GrogTube. You will okay, you guys want a link? Right here, right now. So go there. Thank you, Uncle Brat. Thank you. Go to Vile Necromancer on YouTube. Right here on the YouTube. So what are we going to do tomorrow night? You know what? I think tomorrow night we're gonna look at some classic Dragon magazine. There we go. 71 subs. We'll like to see that. Thank you, Pepe. Thank you, old Grognard. Road March, you missed your chance. They're at 71 subs. But yeah, that would be why, collecting. Yes, if you're already subbed, that would be why. But so I think I believe tomorrow night we're gonna look at some classic Dragon magazine. We've got a lot of them to go through, and I think we're gonna take a look. Probably, I believe it's issue 59, if I'm not mistaken. And we're going to take a look at the Bard from level 0, because I like let me back up. I love the AD&D Bard. I adore the AD&D Bard. AD&D Bards are superheroes. And I have often maintained that I think, now I'm not even a little bit suggesting that, well, Gary lifted the idea for the Bard from this. That's no. But I am almost 100% sure that there is some Feuder Flam DNA in the AD&D Bard. I feel like I read the Chronicles of Prydain, which, by the way, you can knock out in an afternoon. Okay, like if you got to get the tires rotated on the car, just grab yourself your favorite e-reader and the Chronicles of Prydain, and just boom, just knock them out in a few hours. They're juvenile fantasy, but they're really exceptionally well done. They're where Disney got the Black Cauldron, is like smack dab in the middle of the series, which is just kind of a weird place for Disney to start. That's kind of like if they had gotten their hands on the Lord of the Rings and said, well, we're going to start off by making the Two Towers. We're going to start with that one. Look at you guys go. Yeah. I'm loving seeing that. But I love the AD&D Bard. I love the start as a fighter, advance to 6th level, or even all the way up to 8th. Hop over to Thief, then advance up to wherever, because you dual class. Then you switch over after you cap out as a Thief, whatever, like let's say you did go all the way to 8th level as a fighter. Well, then at 8th level as a Thief, then you become, when you have enough XP to go to 9th level, you become a 0 level Bard. By that point, you got an average of like 60 some hit points. You've got all of the stuff that a Bard can do right from the get-go. And I absolutely positively love the mechanics. Now, maybe you guys can explain it to me, why people get so grouchy when it comes to the AD&D Bard. Oh, it's so wonky, it should just be its own class. I don't agree. I think the AD&D Bard starting as a Bard kind of robs it of its mystique a little bit. I mean, so many people seem to want more and better role play mechanisms in AD&D. What better than coming up with the story as you go of why your character is becoming a Bard? I mean, it's truly a unique opportunity for your character. And you have to walk that straight and narrow too. Remember the first edition AD&D, and we've talked about this before, has built into it mechanisms for rewarding good role play. And of all the D&Ds, and now someone has corrected me on this, but up until recently, as far as I knew, all of the D&Ds, first edition AD&D was the only one that had that mechanism built into it. It was the only one that had a mechanism built into it that rewards good role play. Because if you don't play your character to the hilt, guess what? It takes you longer to level up. The bang for buck of leveling up is lessened. So from where I'm sitting, the Bard is the coolest character in AD&D for role play ability. But ultimately, I think it comes down to individual players. I mean, you can have somebody who's just as dull as dishwater running a Bard, and if they've just gone through it mechanically, never trust a quote-unquote Bard in Ravenloft. I'll take your word for that, Trace. One barrier to playing a 1E Bard is the time required. Had a lot of time to play in high school, but since leaving the USN in '89, time has not been kind to my PC development. Well, yeah, I mean, I can kind of see that. I can understand that. Jack, I think it's issue 59. I know it's a 2-number issue. It's the one. It has a cover by Foglio, and it's Growth, the little dragon, and it's like blasted away most of a snowman that Phil and Dixie have built. So I think it's that one, but I'm not 100% sure. But it is the right off the bat 56. Thank you. I was close. I just had to flip that number over. Just had to flip that number over, but Jack is right on the money there. He's right on the money. So you can start a bard from the get-go, but I kind of like the bard from fighter to thief, then to probationary bard, and then you start getting all your stuff in then. But as Bob points out, and I don't think it's unfair for him to say so, it does take some time you might not have. Sorry. So I'm kind of starting to run out of steam now, guys. Like I said, at this point, it's just being tired. You love the 1E bar, but players without the time. No, I get it. I get it. Well, I think those bards are intended as alternate player classes to the bard, but there's nothing to say you couldn't put them in there. But yeah, I'm kind of running out of steam. There is one unpleasant, unfortunate, and kind of sad thing I do want to mention. And if you guys are not really familiar with the man, I would ask you to maybe look him up on Facebook and see some of the awesome stuff that he did. But a great member of this community, Mick Leach, passed away yesterday. I didn't want to lead into the stream with Alan on a down note. Mick was a good guy. He was a real positive influence. Never a downer, not an edition warrior. He was an engine that drove positivity in the hobby of classic AD&D. And I didn't even know he was that ill. So Mick would reach out to me and say hello. I know sometimes he would pop in on the live stream and say hi. And I know when I was regularly streaming to both Facebook and YouTube, I can almost guarantee that he would swing in. He'd get excited about guests we were having on. But Mick was a quiet, determined, enthusiastic, positive force in tabletop RPG communities online, and that's a rare commodity these days. Usually, that triangle skews to one of the other points, but insofar as Mick and I interacted, he seemed to stay exactly perfectly balanced in the middle of the three. Mick stood the watch. He did put on the uniform, and I think that affords him some special consideration too. So Mick, we salute you. Go easy. and we'll see you. We'll see you at the game table. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up there. Tomorrow night we'll be back. We'll play some classic Gamma World. We'll do a little bit of dragon digging up before then. And this weekend, look for information about the great online underground gaming convention. I'm going to have that set up on Warhorn, so you guys will be able to get your games in or get into games. You guys have a lovely evening. If you want to support the show, by the way, you can support us on Patreon. You can support us on Subscribestar. You can buy me a coffee. But the best thing you can do, if you're not already subscribed, is please do click the subscribe button and click the bell icon for notifications. And we will see everyone tomorrow night. You guys have a lovely evening, and thank you everyone for being there. And I'll see you all tomorrow.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere, in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.